Now let's talk a bit about project management. So once you start rolling out your efforts to go after an opportunity, you need a way to manage all the stuff that you have going on in order to do that and to start the business, to validate the business, to start hopefully growing and scaling the business. So one of the things you really need is a project management tool. You probably have used one before if you've been involved in internet marketing for very long or even building any other kind of business. There are some great SaaS project management tools out there. And of course, we've covered SaaS, software as a service. Basically, just that means subscription web-based tool that you can use on your desktop, your laptop, you can access with a mobile phone, tablet, what have you. But basically, a project management tool, if you don't know what it is, it's just kind of an online area that you can kind of create to-do lists, you can set milestones, you can look at a calendar, you can set dates for each kind of milestone you hope to reach or when certain to-dos should be done by then, so on and so forth. You can make notes as each thing is finished. But what's even more powerful about these project management tools is that you can use them with a team. So if you hire some outsourcers or even if you have full-time staff, whatever you have, if you're a husband and wife team, if you have a partner, more than one person can log in and have different permissions and access to your project files. And so you can, delegate some of the sections. So look, if we break everything down in this whole internet digital marketing world, we've just got a few things here, right? We've got like graphics, we've got content that can cover blog and posts, social media posts, or we can have content on the copywriting side. So we can have, possibly videos and video editing if we're doing any VSL stuff. We can have, emails. That's another part of content as far as like emails that would go in a follow-up series. We have software if you're doing any kind of software project. So we kind of have the coding or the programming. We have managing of physical products if you do any of that, like, someone's ordering the inventory and when does it arrive in the warehouse. Anyways, no matter what you're doing, it just has a group of finite elements. Just so many things make it up and that's it. But you need a place to manage it all, like one central hub. And so project management tools are great for that and they're not that expensive. So you may have heard of Basecamp. That's probably the most common one. And it's a great place that a team or even one person can upload files and, of course, manage the whole process of building and running anything. So project management tools are great not only to get your project off the ground, but to also maintain it, scale it, and grow it. Because you can constantly put in notes about what you hope to do next. So let's say you get a project up and running, it's doing well, it's bearing fruit, it's making money, but you want to expand it. So then you can put a lot of the things that you're learning in the course on what to do next into the project management tool about as far as like upcoming things. Like you want to roll out more Facebook ads, you want to build out your pay-per-click campaigns, you want to test more display ads, you want to go directly to sites that you found through the content network. Remember in very first in phase one, I talked about the great opportunity where you can kind of look at your analytics, you can find out where some sales are coming from as far as like the Google Content Network. You can go directly to those sites and you can make deals directly, like not only to buy ads and to run ads cheaper on their site, but even the opportunity of buying those sites. So any of that stuff you do to expand and scale a business, we're going to get into that, especially in part 2 of phase 4, some of those things. You can manage that whole process with project management tools. So again, if you've used any project management tools, then you already know kind of why they're great to use. So your success and the rate of your progress in all of this, it's going to come down to managing your own productivity as well as the different parts that you'll have others create for you. So it's whether you do everything yourself or you're going to have others create certain things for you like we talked about, the content, the design, the programming, so on and so forth. It's a great way to manage all that. So let's talk about a few of the different tools that you may want to consider. And a lot of these tools have premium paid versions, but they also have free versions. So it's worth using and checking out and testing. I mentioned Basecamp. Basecamp at basecamp.com. It's the most popular online project management tool. It has some shortcomings. So it's one of the things that the company, which used to be called 37 Signals, that developed the Basecamp product, they kind of follow the methodology for software of just keeping it simple, not adding too many features. And so it is very basic. People love that. It is a great tool. It can be great for productivity. But for certain users, they want kind of more functionality, more tools, more control, more options, more features. And so for them, in many cases, Basecamp can be a bit limited. Trello, which is also a very simple tool, is also becoming very popular with digital marketers. It's more of a visual tool. You can create these what look like little almost like index cards, graphical cards, where you can put tasks and you can move these visual cards into different columns, such as like for a process where maybe a card represents find someone to do this, or excuse me, a column represents find someone to do this. Maybe it's help write the sales letter. And then another column could be found someone, they're currently working on it. And then another column could be finished it. So it allows you flexibility to do things like that, but as more of a visual tool. So you can graphically move around the little cards into different status areas so you can kind of look at it visually at a glance and know where things are. But Trello is also kind of very simple and basic. Now, Asana takes Basecamp to another level. It takes all the features that Basecamp basically has and it adds some more features and functionality to it. It's becoming a very, very popular tool. Asana was actually founded by one of the co-founders of Facebook. He's, I think his name is Moskovitz is the last name of the guy. Anyways, he's like a young billionaire along with Zuckerberg. He left Facebook and he started this company. And it's a great project management tool. It's actually the tool that I personally use with my team. That's the main tool that we use right now. We've used some of those other tools, not only Basecamp and Trello, we've used a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to name here as we've tried a lot of things. And Asana is pretty solid and we like it a lot. And so we use it for our team. You know, the one thing about these project management tools, it's really kind of personal preference. Some people like the Trello and the visual part of it. If you know the solid internet marketer Andy Jenkins, Mike Filsame, their team really loves to use Trello. They like that visual, simple, move stuff around, delegate it. So you may like that, or you may like kind of a more structured, detailed type tool like Asana. And if you don't, maybe you like more of a basic stripped down version like Basecamp. So almost all these tools have free trials. Go and check them out and play around with them. And last but not least, there's another tool you may want to check out called Insightly. This is kind of more of an enterprise level type of a business tool. It's more expensive than the others. I think this is something like $99 per month per user on your team that's accessing your account, where the other tools, even the premium versions, are less than half of that typically. But Insightly does a lot more than the other tools do. So it just takes it to kind of another level. But something to mention to you, don't get too caught up in the bells and whistles of these project management tools. You just want a tool that'll make you productive. That's the key. So whatever tool that is that gets you to get stuff done, that's the one that you want to use. So you may use Basecamp or Trello, let's say a more stripped down tool that may not have as many fine-tuned controls for milestones and deadlines and things like that. Or other functionality of stuff like Asana or Insightly, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever is going to make you more productive, whatever will make you get stuff done fast, that's the tool I really want you to use because that's really all that matters. So check out those tools. The odds are, if you're an advanced marketer, you already use one of these tools because you're using something to manage what you're doing right now with your projects or for your current business. But if you haven't done any of this stuff, go and play around with these, create free trials, see which one you like to use, and then start setting it up with to-dos and with some of the notes and things that you're learning in this course. So that's really going to help you start moving forward and start implementing the stuff, especially what we're going to start covering here in Phase 4, like the validation process, moist test, and some of these other things to get these projects off the ground. So check out those tools.